Oh shit, I clicked a live button. Oh. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Getting some Aethermancer. Get me in here. What's up, Gumball? Gumball, have you played any Aethermancer before? Dude, they added a thing in this game for all my Ravenswatch players. They added a thing. So, normal difficulty, corruption on monsters is capped at 75% health. Corruption is basically like a deterioration to your starting health in a battle, not your max health. So as you take damage, your monsters will get corrupted. So say they have 40 health and they take like 10 damage and they get 2 corruption. Next battle, they're going to start at 38 health. About to play it vicariously. Nice. So heroic then makes corruption capped at 99% health. Each monster has an additional trait that's like a passive ability. Regular enemies have 20% higher health. Bosses have 50% higher health. And then worthiness is like your meta progression on monsters. Mythic, this shit gets tough. Really tough. Corruption is capped at 99% health. Each enemy monster has an additional trait. Again, that's their passive. Regular enemies have 30% higher health. Bosses have 70% higher health. Enemies deal +1 damage in the second biome and +2 damage in the third biome. Why that gets tough is enemies already have like their own perks, which might be like +1 damage, or like at the start of your turn, enemies get 1 burn or stuff like that. But a lot of things have like, damage is like 3 times 5 damage. So 3 hits for 5 damage. +1 damage, that's 3 hits for 6 damage. That's 3 hits for 7 damage. So it starts getting tougher. And then regular enemies have +1 poise and boss have +2 poise. That's how you stagger enemies and do more damage. But for my Ravenswatch people, you see how this dude's name is Jotun? And then it's got that little gold symbol. That means I beat it on Mythic with that monster. There's also like shiny variants to your monsters. If it doesn't have that gold thing, it means I haven't beat it, right? Like this one means I beat it on the first difficulty. So now there's like a, hey, beat it with every single monster. Let's go with this. I just got this yesterday. And then how this game will work. Your monsters have elements, earth or wind. This doesn't really matter too much for your monsters, but it does kind of say they're going to generate either earth or wind. And then they have types, right? So this one has Sidekick, Age, and Force. Stuff like this, critical, dodge, tear, right? Poison, shield, force. These are all going to do different things. Then your monster has their moves. They start with 2 moves. So this is hardening. Applies Sidekick, Force, and Age. I can click show details so you could actually see what those do. But I'll explain as I'm going. So Age, no innate effect. Age mainly determines when aging traits trigger. So you can apply Age to your monster, and like every turn they're going to get 1 Age. And Age might say something like, every time this monster gets 2 Age, apply Burn to all enemies. Stuff like that, right? Sidekick. When another ally attacks, trigger a Sidekick attack on this monster against the target enemy, dealing a 1×4 damage based on this monster's element. So this one would be Earth and Wind. Then consumes a stack of Sidekick. And then Force, if your monster has Force on them, turns each hit into a critical hit, which deals 50% more damage, rounded up, and +1 poise damage. Each hit consumes 1 stack. And then this guy, this is like your meta progression, but he starts with +2 crit damage, +15 evasion, and then initial force. So at the start of combat, it's going to start with 1 force. And his other move is 1×8 wind damage, Against target enemy, it applies psychic and force. And then these are your traits. These are like the most important things. This is the shifted variant, so the shiny one, so it's different. I just got this yesterday, so I actually haven't seen this. Gains aging. The first hit of each attack this monster deals... Wait. The first hit of each attack of this monster deals +1 damage for every 2 buff stacks on it and shields self equal to that amount. So where this is nice, you got a move that does 1 times 8 and it is only 1 hit, and this affects the first hit of each attack. So you have a bunch of buffs on you. This attack is going to go up. But then the sidekick attack is also a 1 times 4 hit, right? So that sidekick attack is going to get buffed. So I'm going to go start with this guy, Minokawa Shifted. A roguelike I haven't seen. This is, if you... I wouldn't say that, like, if you enjoy Pokemon, you'll enjoy this, but there's a likelihood if you enjoy Pokemon and roguelikes that you'll enjoy this. It's my favorite type. I really like playing with the Terror type. I actually have a video that will be coming out in like a day or two, and I did a whole Terror run. I think Terror is really fun to play around because it's... You normally like debuff yourself and the enemies at the same time. What's up, AJ? So at the start of your run, let me make sure I can see. Okay, I'm only blocking a minimap, which doesn't matter too much to you guys. Something that you also potentially want to have open when you play this game is go to Aethermancer's wiki. Here, I'm gonna just have this open so you guys can see this. You want to go to Aethermancer's wiki a lot of times when you play this, and you can go to their types. So I have Age. What does this guy have? Age, Psychic, Force. You want to click something like, let's click Force. It shows you the other monsters that have Force, but it shows you their potential traits. And there's a thing called Maverick traits, kind of like in Hades when you have a boon from one god and a boon from another god. You could get an overlapping boon. I have Psychic, Age, and Force. I can get an overlapping like Psychic and Age boon, right? But what also happens is when I pick a new monster, say I go pick like this guy who has Heal, Regeneration, Weakness. Now I can get something that has like Age and Heal, or like Sidekick and Weakness if there's something that's like that. So you should go here and just look like, is there, before you pick your second monster, like is there something that I would want to build into, like Force and Poison. On crit, if it was triggered by Force, applies 5 poison. This is just helpful to know what's available to you to see what has like the best synergies. I'm probably not going to focus too much on that right now. When you're first starting out, you also don't really need to use that, but when you get into the higher tiers like Mythic difficulty, it's definitely helpful to have that. So I've already beat it on this guy on both. I beat it on both on this guy. I beat it on this guy. I haven't beat it with this guy, which is Tank Critical Regeneration. This is a very overpowered guy if you know how to use him. Then this guy has Heal, Regeneration, Weakness, and Heal, Regeneration, Tear. Tear is really interesting. I might take this guy because Tear is going to be really interesting with my other guy and let him do a bunch of damage. I also named this guy Spud. I'm going to rename him so he has his real name, Mandragora. So he is... The only bad thing is he's Earth and Wind type, which you want to have. There's Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water, and you kind of want to have move coverage for all types of moves. Tear lets you get by that a little bit, but what Tear does, and you could already see the synergy with my guy's thing, where like the first hit of each attack based off this guy's buffs will do more damage. What Tear reads is the first hit of an incoming attack deals 1 additional damage for each stack of Tear, is converted into wild damage, and consumes half those stacks rounded up. Now wild damage, I'll explain that when it happens, but this guy also has evasion, 20%, healing, and regeneration. So healing and regeneration are different. If you heal an enemy, this is going to buff the healing of each heal by 1. Regeneration healing is going to buff the healing from regeneration. So they're different, which is confusing. Okay, grant Minokawa shifted a new perk at the cost of 7 corruption. Yeah, let's do that. +1 damage of each hit is actually not that interesting. Actually, with how this game scales, it is pretty interesting. We'll go +1 damage. The damage calculation of this game is also a little complicated. I have a... What's actually funny, it's a chart for this specific monster. Because I was running with this monster, but like... Sometimes it's helpful to do this when you're playing it so that you can see how the damage is going to work. You don't need to know what the amount of damage everything is going to do because it'll tell you, but sometimes when you hit criticals it doesn't tell you how much damage it's going to do. So like this guy's attack, literally the dude I was using, is 1 times 8 plus power stacks. Power increases, if you have a power stack, it increases your damage by 1, plus N, and I had N as like the buff stacks divided by 2 because of his passive, plus the crit damage, plus 2 from the plus 2 crit damage passive he has, plus the 1.5 from stagger damage. Like, it is helpful to do this every once in a while and like realize what's happening, because sometimes you'll see a number and you're like, how did I get that number? Banana Gee, my name is not Drake, but hello. Oh, you're talking about... I think I get what you're talking about. Okay, when you get into a combat, you could press space to void blitz. This is going to remove 2 of their poise. So this monster is going to start with 4 earth poise. This one's going to start with 4 fire poise. I have earth moves. I don't have fire moves, so I'm actually just going to hit this guy so I can break him. Tear's pretty cool. Kill the final boss in 1 turn on Mythic using Elder Summoner guy. Really breaks the game when you don't consume Tear. Yeah, Tear is really fun to play with. Like Purge and Tear. Purge is really fun. Play game, do PhD. Okay, so I have my move, apply sidekick. Sidekick, force, or age to self. Oh, I also didn't read this guy's trait for you guys. At the start of combat, applies 1 regeneration to self. Whenever regeneration triggers on this monster, applies regeneration to another ally with the least health. Then triggers regeneration on them. Okay, so whenever... and then regeneration reads at the start of your turn, heals this monster by 5, then consumes a stack. So this guy, as long as I'm spreading regeneration, he's constantly going to be spreading regeneration to other allies. He has heals all allies for 6, applies regeneration to all allies, 3 times 4 wind damage against the target enemy, and applies 3 tear to the target. Oh wait, I actually don't have an earth move. I have 2 wind moves, which kind of sucks. Wait, that actually sucks ass. So right here, you could see who they're attacking if you hover over their move. You could also read what their move does. You could see their amount of ether that they have at the top. Right here, I have 1 earth and 2 wind. These guys are going to choose 1 earth or 1 wind to summon at the start of the turn, and then my guy right here is going to choose something that matters in my party. I'm going to apply sidekick, force, and age to myself real quick. And then now, because God, this is tough to explain sometimes. So prior, if I was just about to hit this guy, right, this top slime dude, he wasn't going to break. His stagger, I need to hit basically 2 times doing earth damage on him. But if I use this wind move, he's going to break. Now, why would he break if I'm using a wind move? Well, it's because I'm going to hit him, apply 3 tear. Tear makes it so your attack does wild damage. Wild damage can break any color of poise, right? It could break earth, wind, fire, or water. When I hit this guy, because my top guy has sidekick on him, he is going to attack. And he attacks doing earth and wind damage. Now that should only be 1, but he's going to also have force, which turns it into a critical hit, which is going to break 1 more poise. So that's why it's going to stagger this guy right now. Staggered enemies take 50% more damage. I'm just going to finish this guy off with that. If you attack with a basic attack, you're also going to generate ether corresponding to your monster's type. I think I'm just going to apply this again so I can hit this guy really hard next turn. Makes sense to do this first. But I'm not going to kill this guy, am I? I am going to kill him. Huge. Okay. Okay, then when you win a combat, you get experience and meta progression on your monster if you haven't filled out their meta progression. And then you get a little reward. Now here, this is your pick 3 in the game on where you want to go. But you want to do all the combats in every area for the most part. There's not a lot of reason to skip combats. You want to level up. Now, this guy can do a lot of damage. Both these guys can actually do a lot of damage early on. I'm going to take on this guy first because one of his abilities is critical. And if he hits you with big critical attacks, he's going to add a lot of corruption to your monsters. I think it's the same start. Well, actually won't break him if I do that. I'll actually kill this guy, right? Yeah, because now I'm going to attack this guy for 2x2 damage, but this guy's going to come in with a sidekick attack and kill him. My little plant dude's getting his ass beat down here. 4x2 damage. I don't have a lot of ways to avoid damage right now, which is unfortunate. You also can go in here and look at the monsters that you're fighting. You could look at their abilities. So this guy has Retaliate, applies 1 temporary power to self. For every 7 times this trait triggers, applies 10 burn to the enemy. So you don't want to hit this guy a lot. Like, the more you hit this guy, the more damage he's going to do in return to you. And if you hit him 7 times, he's going to apply 10 burn to all you. And I'll explain these things on like what they do when it seems like they're going to matter in a turn. Nice. I think he just missed because I have 15% evasion innately on this guy. So I think that's why he missed right there. Okay. Level 2 is really important. Get a new trait. Perfect Edge is amazing. Aura. Force stacks on allies now only apply to the first hit of each attack. So Force, normally if I had an attack that was like 3 times 5 damage, and I had 3 stacks of Force, all 3 of those hits would consume a stack of Force, and each of them would crit. But because my guy is all about his first hit obliterating, the first hit of each attack of this monster deals +1 damage for every 2 buffs on it. Only that first hit is going to consume Force, but it's going to do more damage. That's really good. As long as this monster has Sidekick, other allies get +2 damage. Whenever an ally triggers Sidekick, shields both attackers for 3. Yeah, I'm going to go Perfect Edge and try to stack a lot of Force on this guy. Whenever regeneration is applied to an ally, heals them for 6. So that would actually be a heal right away on turn 1. But I think I want to play into Tear. At the start of your turn, Tear application +1. At the start of your turn, generate Wild Ether for every enemy with 5 or more Tear. It's going to be hard to get 5 or more Tear right away, but I think the +1 Tear application is going to be good. And I want to play into Tear. Soul Gate grants access to a sacred room, but only those willing to part with a soul. So I have 4 monster souls down here in the bottom. This is like your ability to pick new monsters in new areas. This only really matters if you keep dying with certain monsters. So I'm going to release this because normally these benefits are worth it. Like 1 experience right there. That's nice. Okay, so I can go to the Knight, who gives me an item that I can place in this equipment slot. I could go to a random loot drop, or I can go to an envoy. I generally like to go to the envoys because it gives your guy a turn. Like my guy, what I currently have is a monster flask, so I could heal. This heals your monsters for 20. It fills up these slots, so you can do more things on your turn. And I think those are really nice to have filled up when you go into boss fights. So I have Ravager, who has critical dodge and tear. I would actually love this guy, but I've already beat it with him. But this would synergize so well with what I'm doing. Poison, shield, force. His shifted form has poison, weakness, force. Ether, power, age. So I'd have two things that have age, or ether, heal, age. I don't really know what I want to do here. I could also reroll them if I want to reroll them. What does this guy do? When one or more shielded allies gets attacked, triggered poison on the enemy and apply force to the attack allies. This is a way to apply force. Actually, I haven't played with this guy a whole lot. And having someone that can shield on the team is nice. He has shields. Target ally for 2x3. Applies poison to a random enemy. This would be another earth and wind. Oh god. I mean, Terror should help me get around the moves that I don't have. That's a little risky to do. Also, this guy's worthiness level 1. I generally like to level them up before I take them into Mythic, but let's do it. Let's go Circuit. But generally what I just did with Earth, Wind, Earth, Wind, Earth, Wind is not what you want to do. It's okay if you don't have one of the types, but you kind of want to spread them out a little bit. So Chromatic Scroll breaks 3 poise on target enemy. It's a really, really good item to have, especially in what I have right now, because if I go up against a water or fire guy, it's going to be really hard to break their poise, and that's going to help me break their poise. So if you do this attack that you have from the top, you are going to break 1 extra poise on enemies as well, which is really nice. I think I want to just try to kill this guy turn 1 if I can. My top guy's getting attacked twice. It's going to do 31 damage already. Yeah, let's just do this. Delete this guy. Shield ally for 2x3 applies 3 poison to a random enemy. So if this guy gets poison applied to him, it kind of sucks because he's going to do more damage in return to me. But poison doesn't add corruption to you. Only like physical hits against your monsters applies corruption. So if you take like a bunch of burn damage or poison damage, it doesn't really matter as long as you don't die. And it poisoned this guy, which is kind of okay. Poison also does earth damage. As you see here, at the start of your turn, this monster takes X earth damage, then consumes a stack. X equals the amount of stacks. So earth will break this guy's poise because he has earth correlated poise. Can I kill this guy if I do this same thing? No. Yeah, it still won't kill him even if I do this. I could break him. It's a little bit of a waste of a Chromatic Scroll, but he's going to do a lot of damage right now. So let's break him. Mythic difficulty makes you use your items a lot more than other difficulties. But I probably should have killed this guy first, just because of how this guy stacks damage. Let me hit this guy with a basic attack. Then let me apply the buffs. Let's hit this guy. And you're dead. Nice. Okay, I got an item, the Lance. This is actually huge for me. Converts the element of the first hit of each attack into wild damage. Wild damage is +2 damage, and then as the added effect, critical damage +2. This guy basically always crits because he has force applied to him. And his first attack doing wild damage. It will do wild damage if this guy has placed terror on the enemy, but it also makes wild damage do 2 more damage. So I'm going to apply this to this guy. This is something, if I can find like a higher rarity one, this is exactly what I want on this guy. It's like the best item for him. Soul Altar. Okay, release a monster soul. I'll do that. I get a boon for the next 2 fights. Psychic boon at the start of combat applies 2 sidekick to all allies. That's actually a bunch of damage. This guy can redirect attacks, but if I do this, I can kill this guy turn 1. Yeah, so this guy right here, you can redirect attacks into him. So if you attack this guy, it's just he's gonna jump in front of the way, which he's actually doing right now. I can kill with a basic attack. Wait a minute. I might be able to kill 2 of them. Let me basic attack you. This guy's going to hit for 1,000,000. Let me apply force again. Yeah, huge. What's my opinion on the strongest types? I think Sidekick is one of the safest and easiest to build around. Sidekick, I think Poison and Burn are both really, really strong. I really like playing run Poison and Burn. I did a Burn run last night that destroyed. And I think Poison is really easy because you can get Poison to trigger a bunch of times in a row if you have like a full Poison setup. Regeneration used to be insane, but they nerfed Regeneration. I think it's still good. But yeah, I think Psychic and Purge as well. I think Purge is incredibly strong if you have everything purging and they just don't get to use any moves. Okay, I like the idea of this because I want water damage. Apply Psychic, that's a free action though. Okay, so free action, this action can be used without ending the monster's turn. This monster can use 1 free action per turn. If you have the Ether to use this every turn, that's really good. Applies 2 Psychic to self, applies 2 temporary power to all allies. I don't really care about that too much. 2 times 4 earth water against a target enemy. Cleanses 2 debuffs from self, applies Psychic to self. I like this because it gives me a way to attack water poise. Cleansing 2 debuffs is cool as well, and applying Sidekick is nice. This is tough because Charge Up is really nice to use Charge Up and then Hardening, and then both my guys can attack and you would have 2 stacks of Sidekick. But I just need the Ether to do that, which I actually can basic attack with these guys a lot of times. Okay, this guy's getting his trait. Whenever this monster receives or applies shield, apply poison to the enemy with the lowest amount of poison. These are all poison things. On Earth action from any ally, applies poison to the enemy. Debuffs deal 4 more damage against the enemy. My build is not going to center around stacking poison as much as it is ideally tear and applying force. So I'm going to reroll these and see if I can get some force things. A dedicated support action heals target ally for 3, shields them for 3, and applies 2 force to them. That's really good. Whenever an ally reaches 2 force stacks, it generates 2 random ether. That is also pretty good for allowing me to use abilities. Triggers up to once per ally per combat. So if I reinforce, if my turn 1 is reinforcing this guy, I'm applying a lot of force to this guy. Whenever poison triggers on an enemy, apply poison to all enemies. Forceful generation. The only reason why I don't want to take forceful generation is because only this guy is really going to get 2 force applied to himself. So I'm going to do reinforce right now. It's an archetype that seems inherently broken because of attack quantity and how easily it cheats the stacker system. Also have a ton of straightforward damage, heal. Yeah, no, I agree. I think summon is really strong, but the one weakness of summon is the final boss and not being able to attack the hands. Like, make your summons attack the hands. I think if they could fix that, I would like summon a lot more. Summon has still done incredibly well on Mythic, but that's like the one thing about it that I don't like. Doesn't really matter who I attack first in these enemies. I do want to get an AoE attack on this guy, though, if I can. Okay, let's just kill this guy. Put Psychic on myself. Let's put Age Force and Psychic on myself. And let's... Who are you attacking? You're attacking the dude in the middle. Yeah, you don't have shield. Let's kill this guy. This is also a game that I do need to refresh myself on what is going on every once in a while, because sometimes I'll be clicking buttons and I'm like, why did I just do 1 billion damage? So you do kind of need to refresh yourself on like what's happening. Heals all allies for 2x8, applies 2 force to all allies? Dude, that would have, if I took Forceful Generation, that would have just generated the ether right away. Okay, I think I'm going to take this. Applies 2 regeneration to all allies. That's also pretty good. Whenever regeneration triggers on this monster, apply regeneration. Yeah, I'm going to take this. Applying 2 force to all allies is going to be really nice. Especially later on. Whenever this monster applies a debuff to an enemy, 15% chance to apply another stack of the same debuff. Tear application +1. That's huge because I have not been able to take use of Cosmic Horror. Actually, Cosmic Horror should be my ether generation once I get more tear application. Which this move currently applies 5 tear. So if I don't kill the enemy or hit them, that is enough for Cosmic Horror. So Night gives you item, which lets you either get experience or reroll one of your like traits or actions. And then Ether Springs give you some permanent buff throughout the entire run. They're generally pretty good to hit. At the end of combat, 25% chance that at least one of your monsters gains 1 extra XP. At the end of combat, gain 2 gold. I don't really ever find that I need more gold. I tend to buy like 1 or 2 things and then buy experience with my gold. So I'll just take the Wind Boon and hope that that hits early. Void Meteorite. So I get to give one of my monsters an elemental affinity. Probably this guy. Basic attacks do 1 earth damage and generate 1 additional ether. What do I need more of? Wind or earth? Wind. I think earth, actually.
Oh, you're such a...
Okay. Attack this guy. Okay, I shouldn't be able to turn 1 stagger this guy, but I might be able to turn 1 kill him. No, I won't, because I can't use Shriek. 2 of them are attacking my dude on the top, which I don't like. I could shield him. Then I don't get to use hardening. Do I ever kill on turn 1? I can kill something turn 1 if I use hardening and apply another stack of sidekick and force, and then basic attack an enemy twice. I could kill. Do I want to do that though? I can also stagger you. Let's do that. Oh, this does kill now. Huge. Bro, this game is so beautiful. Hello. I know. I do love the pixel art. I love pixel art in games. I wish Pokemon had pixel art still. Cleanse 2 corruption from all allies on the first use of each combat? I don't think I even read that. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to use Crystal Smash if I do this. Here, apply one sidekick to yourself. Basic attack won't kill. 4 times 3. 2 times 5. I don't want you to build up more corruption, though. So let's attack this guy. And then kill. Okay, big damage, big damage. +2 crit damage. That's... I guess it makes sense because you have force as one of your... That's one of your types. Blade, crit chance. Initial sidekick. Ooh, that's really good, but I'm not gonna put it on you. You also are like guaranteed to crit. So let's put that on you. I'm probably gonna get rid of that because it's not too important. Once I get something better. Just go around here, get all the money on the map. Okay, and then I have one more combat to fight. Give up ether crystals and receive gold. Ether crystals are your meta progression for like purchasing stuff in the town that's going to affect your runs. I already have all that. Let's fuck up a chicken, probably. Yeah. Is this game a roguelike or roguelite? Dude, I've done that in my mind so many times on like which is which. I still forget. It has meta progression. It has. I'm pretty sure that's like the difference maker. Is it has meta progression. So I said I wanted to fuck up a chicken, but I actually want to fuck up this guy. I can't kill you. How would I kill you? Because you're not going to do enough damage. Do I just break the chicken and take the damage? I think I just break the chicken. Nice. Okay. Yeah, here's where an AoE attack would be really nice. I need to kill you. I can do that with Crystal Smash. Actually, let's do this. frick. If I use Shriek, can I kill you with a basic attack? I can, thank God. Okay. Okay, then now I could Crystal Smash you. Okay, and we're taking minimal damage. Huge. Sidekick seems strong. Sidekick is very strong, but this guy is also just very, very strong right away. So, what's happening is the first hit of each attack of this monster deals +1 damage for every 2 buffs on it and shields itself equal to that amount. So when I do this, it has 7, 8. It has 8, so it has 4 more damage. It's guaranteed to crit. So if I use, and Sidekick is a 1 times 4, so it's 4 damage plus the 4 damage from all the buffs plus 1.5 for the crit, so 12 damage, plus the 2 for bonus crit damage, so it's 14 damage. I'm actually wrong because I have +1 damage here, so it's 5, 9, it's 9 plus 1.5, it's going to go up to 13 or 14. Damage stacks in like crazy ways. So it gets to 23. It gets to 23. But it's like this top guy with Sidekick hits for insane damage. Like Sidekick is good, but it normally doesn't hit for stupid amount of damage. But because this guy has Force as part of his kit, he hits for like really nutty damage right away. So the scary thing is this does 4 times 3 damage, but every time I hit this chicken, that's going to go up. So it's going to go to like 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6. And I'm going to end up hitting this chicken a lot right now. Unless I just don't hit the chicken. What if I don't hit the chicken? He's going to get hit by poison. But let's get rid of some corruption. Let's apply force on everyone. Don't hit the chicken. And now we obliterate the chicken. How much meta progression is there? So there's meta progression on all your monsters. So all your monsters will start at worthiness 1. And every level, they'll get like one of these perks right here. Up until level 3, and then after that they just get like currency. And then in the like hub world, there's vendors. There's a vendor to buy your monsters. There's a vendor to, there's like 2 other vendors that increase stuff on like your rerolls, on like your monster can die once each run and come back with a amount of health, just like certain stuff like that. Applies to force to self. I wish this was to an ally. If this was to an ally, that would be amazing. So this guy has the trait reinforce on dedicated support action. Heal the target for 3, shield them for 3, and apply 2 force. Foul shield, you can see right here, is a dedicated support action. They distinct that because free actions that are support actions do not count as dedicated support actions. I actually have this move on my other guy as well. It's a way to apply a lot of force, but I don't really need that. This isn't that good. None of these are really that good. If I ever get a reroll, I'm probably going to replace these. I think I'm just going to go with generate force though. The witch actually does let you reroll. Potentially. Let's just go here. Okay, reroll an action of a monster. See if I can get something better. Triggers poison on all monsters. Free action. Shields target ally for... This is what I was looking for. Shields target ally for 2 times 5. Shields all allies for 3. Applies 3 force to all allies. That's amazing. It's expensive. Oh, so there's 2 different bosses in this zone. And then there's like shifted variants, which are like shiny variants. Like this is a shifted version of the normal thing that you would see. one boss, like the original boss, I think is much easier than this boss. This boss does so much damage that I might lose a guy right here or the run. Because this thing just does silly amounts of damage. And I'll read all of its abilities and you can kind of see why. And I have a very offensive setup right now with how I do things. I don't have a lot of defense, but this guy has Cursed Blood. For every 10 critical or wild damage dealt by allies, apply 1 bleed to the target. It will do wild damage by applying tear to me, or by applying bleed to me and having bleed tick, because bleed reads at the start of your turn, this monster takes X wild damage, then consumes half of the stacks. X equals 2 times the stacks. So if I have 2 bleed on me, it's going to hit for 4 damage. Then 20% critical chance on every 3 crits, generate Wild Ether. Wild Ether lets you use any ability regardless of like what it costs. That's a bad way to explain it. Say I have no Water Ether, but I have 1 Wild Ether. I could use the move Mist because I have a Wild Ether. Then Nightmare. Tear application. At the start of your turn, deal wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. Again, that's going to trigger back into Cursed Blood to apply bleed to my guys, which is going to make them take more damage. And then Hunt. Allies gain 15% crit chance and 2% or 2 more crit damage. So everything just feeds into Cursed Blood, applying a bunch of bleed. And then it has 20% crit chance, plus 2 damage, plus 1 damage. This thing just does stupid amounts of damage right away. I want to apply poison on it because it's going to take another poise meter from you. I'm actually going to use Chromatic Scroll right now and break some poise on you, because when you stagger them, bosses get to use 2 moves. It prevents them from using one of their moves. Yeah, I'm actually not going to apply poison to you right now, but that's okay. Okay, you put 6 tear. You could see he's almost killing right away. And he puts tear on you. Again, the first hit of each incoming attack deals 1 additional damage for every tear. So it's doing already a lot of damage. Like, what is this doing? 24 damage. I'm just dead. I'm just dead. Let's see, can I stagger you first though? Can I apply sidekick? So I can stagger you. Put regeneration on my allies, but I don't know. I think I just have to go for raw damage. I would actually love to use Diamond Shield, but that's too expensive, I think. Heal up this guy this turn. Is this killing me? No, but it's doing a bunch of damage. Oh god. Do this to generate Wild Ether. Or Earth and Wind Ether. Oh, it is killing me. He is just killing me. Oh, and then the bleed's killing me. Yeah, this guy is ridiculously overpowered. I think they need to nerf this guy because of his stuff just stacks so quickly. And that sucks because my main dude is dead now. I think the run is washed. These guys don't do damage. And he's doing 1 times 13 with a lot of crit chance, and he's doing 2 times 7. Crits deal 4 additional damage. Let me see if I could live the turn. Yeah, and he's dead because he has bleed. I went defensive and I'm not even living the turn. Yeah, this guy, is it like this only on Mythic difficulty? Yeah, I do think it's... I don't think he's overpowered on the other difficulties. Mythic difficulty gives them the one extra trait as well. It's basically, to beat this guy, like, consistently, you need to have a setup that scales turn 1 incredibly well, or you need to have debuff cleanse and a bunch of debuff cleanse on your team so that you get rid of the tear on your allies and you get rid of the bleed on them right away. I'll show you the meta progression, like what that's like. Jeez, you guys had a lot to talk about. So this is like, you can now find shifted variants of monsters, or like different versions of monsters, right? You have stuff like, after you beat a zone, you get to cleanse corruption off your monsters. And it upgrades that. It upgrades how much gold you start with, upgrades the merchant inventory or their discount. So it's like stuff like that. And then start each run with one additional soul, you know, skill rerolls, increase the amount of worthiness you get. Okay, let's ideally not get bodied by that monster again. Maybe we go more defensive setup. Actually, I like this guy quite a bit. Dodge critical tear is a combo I wanted on it in a monster. Dude, it's my very first run with this guy. I destroyed everything. It's a very, very good monster. This guy's kind of interesting. I like force, but let's do this. Let's go dodge, purge, ether. So this guy's levitation. For every 9 ether consumed by allies, apply dodge to this monster. Each attack consumes a dodge stack to gain 1 damage and steal 1 ether. So you're going to steal an enemy ether and bring it over to your side. It's got 3 wishes. Choose 1 of 3 wish actions that have not been used this combat. You'll see those when I use that. And then swipe. 2 times 3 damage against enemies. Steal 1 enemy ether. This guy's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Very low starting health though. His perks are 1 ether, so at the start of your turn you get 1 additional ether. 20% evasion, initial dodge you start with 1. I played with this guy a lot before they added the like badges that you complete, like these badges at the top. So a dodge setup is kind of interesting because there's a dodge ability that lets you, if you have 5 dodge on your allies, you can reset their turn and let them go again, which is incredibly strong. Critical tear, heal. Let's go dodge, tear, heal, and get 2 things that have dodge. Dodge same, but it didn't work as I hoped. One of the cool things about dodge as well is there's another ability that dodge has that it, like, here, let me read what dodge says for you guys. I don't, okay. It won't let me read what dodge says because I don't have anything that does dodge right away. Oh, here, okay. Evades every second hit of a incoming attack. Each incoming attack consumes a stack. There's a thing that like replaces that. There's a passive trait you can get that's like dodge is 12% now. Instead of dodging every second attack, it's just 12% and will increase by 12% for every stack you have. So you can just stack a bunch of dodge and have like a 50% chance to dodge every attack. Grants a new perk. Ether, evasion, initial dodge. Damage, evasion, tear application. Let's see if I can Let's go you. +1 damage. Shield generator, defense. Just go damage. I want to see if I could get like an advantage strike. I don't think I can. Do I want to attack the chicken or the slime? Let's break the chicken first. It seems that I like to play games that it takes 1,000 hours to actually get good at. Maybe a little bit. So one of the cool things is I can steal... Basically, this guy's going for a move that costs 1 ether. I can steal his ether. This steals 1 ether, so 1 earth ether. So you'd be like, he has 2. Wouldn't he still be able to use his move? No. Each attack consumes a dodge stack to gain 1 damage and steal 1 ether. So I'm going to be stealing 2 ether. So I can prevent that move. He also has 3 wishes, which is... One of your wishes is generate fire, water, wind, and earth ether, which is kind of cool. One is I can apply 2 dodge to target ally. Or one is purge 3 enemy ether. I think I am just going to... steal this. And then not hit the chicken. I'll let my cat in. Come here, buddy. Terror gives you evasion when combined with dodge, was aiming for 100% but wasn't building dodge stacks consistently enough. If you also have like the banner, right, it gives you 10% dodge as well. Okay, what's cool is I'm going to steal this guy's ether, but this guy isn't going to be able to use his move because I'm about to steal it. But that's not going to kill him. If I apply tear and then steal, you're dead. Wait, is this guy killing me? I gotta put dodge on myself. I can't hit this guy because it's going to increase the amount of damage he does. I can't hit him. He's going to kill me. I'm going to dodge one of his attacks. And I have 20% base evasion, so I could just dodge again. I'm going to play safe. I don't use these heals a whole lot. I'm going to play safe and use a heal right now. With Ravager, it seems worth considering again. It might be pretty easy to pull off. Might be able to get it somewhat consistently. Okay. Is that gonna kill? I didn't do the math in my head, it better kill, thank God. Thank God it kills. Okay. Got an artifact, nice. Scepter. At the end of your turn, apply 1 temporary power, which is 1 more damage on your moves, and heal self for 3. Max health plus 3. Ether chance, rare, 50% on action to generate random ether. Give that to my boy, because he needs more max health. I can crack you early on, but you do have redirect. Let's break you first. And then use swipe. Steal all this guy's ether. Ideally, you can't use a move next turn. I don't want him to apply redirect to himself, because redirect also reduces the damage that is done to him. Let's apply tear on him. Next turn I'll be able to do more damage. I don't like how much corruption's being stacked on this guy. I actually could use the hourglass just to remove corruption on him, which is like the main purpose of the hourglass. Okay, let's see if we can get some dodge synergies with these traits. For every 3 ether purge or stolen by this monster applies power to self. That actually happens pretty consistently. For every 4 attacks from allies, purge 1 ether on the enemy. On interrupt, applies 5 tear to that enemy and heals for 10. I actually will interrupt quite a bit, because when you steal, when they try to use a move and you steal ether from them and they can no longer use their move, that counts as an interrupt. Staggering also counts as an interrupt, or I think killing counts as an interrupt. Oh, it says it right there. When an enemy is staggered, killed, or when the enemy lacks the ether required to play the action. I like both Disruptive Prime and Tormentor. I'll be able to use this a lot. Let's go Tormentor though. Let's try to build the dodge tear. For every 35 wind or wild damage dealt to the enemy, apply dodge to the ally with the lowest amount of dodge. At the start of your turn, deal wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. I really like Nightmare, but not early on. I don't think you get to apply this that often. Well, actually, you apply a lot of tear, don't you? 4 tear. That would be 5 tear. And then if I interrupt, that's 5 tear. Okay, whenever an ally evades a hit, generate wind ether. If you have 5 or more wind ether, wild ether is generated instead. Actually, I'm going to be doing a lot of wind and wild damage though, because of the tear application I'm doing. Let's go for dodge. Let's try to generate a bunch of dodge. Rare loot drop, a random NPC, or a knight, which gives me an item. Let's do the knight. Okay, dodge or tear. So I beat it. Unfortunately, I beat it with both of these guys, both of these guys, and both of these guys. I'm gonna reroll monsters. Even though one of those guys would have been really good, I just want to try to beat it with something new. Psychic, shield power. You know, I actually could go right here. Dodge, psychic, and force. This is also a very aggressive team that has no defense. No defense at all. Which is pretty bad to take in Mythic, but if you could be interrupting turns every single time, or just killing enemies, then like you don't really need defense, right? Pick equipment. On single target attack applies weakness. Belt on interrupt, 75% chance to apply power to self. Wind generator, basic attacks generate 1 additional wind. Initial psychic. At the start of combat, applies psychic to self. Put that on the guy that wants to have psychic. Okay, there's just fights over here. Save the chicken for last. What's up, Parados? Yeah, I've been playing this game quite a bit. I played this game a lot when it first came out. And then, since they added these, I don't know if I can see them in here, the badges for, like, what difficulty you've completed with the monster. Like, the nightmare badges that we have for Ravenswatch. I'm like, okay, I'm back. You gave me a good reason to come back. But also, one thing, if you're playing this game, make sure you put combat speed. This, when they introduced the third act and we were stuck on this combat speed, runs, I shit you not, took like 3 hours. So my middle guy's getting attacked quite a bit. I could swipe here. Played like 20 hours. Let's see, how much do I have in this? I have 73 hours. Yeah, I think I put like 40 hours into it when it first came out, and then I'm playing it. It's been like the main game that I've been playing recently. Trying to think if there's a way I can take this guy out too. I mean, you're just doing a basic attack. So that will kill. So what if I do this? That won't kill. Okay, that's fine. Jeez, he hit a crit. I don't want to hit the chicken right now. Wait, can I kill the chicken this turn? I can't kill both this turn. So let's... just kill this guy. And then let's apply dodge to my guy that's getting hit. Just reached the third difficulty. Yeah, third difficulty gets pretty tough. Okay, you're hitting for 3 times 4. Can I need to kill you this turn, don't I? Do I use this or this? So this is going to apply Psychic and Force after, which should do a lot of damage. Yeah, if I apply Tear to you and let the Psychic hit with Tear, and then now you have Tear on yourself, this should kill. Okay, big. Belt. Okay. This box reduces your corruption, so I should do this fight prior. These guys can start to hit really hard. Take on one of these guys first. Shield itself for 2 times 4 deals damage equal to the amount of shield on this monster. Don't want you doing that. Let's swipe. Do a basic attack to generate ether. So these guys have the ability where they can steal the last action that was used. This monster can copy the last 2 enemy actions and use them once on copied action, purges the same amount of elements of ether that were spent on the action. 1 second. Someone's knocking at my door.
Never mind.
Okay. So I want to prevent, ideally, both these moves. I don't want this guy to get Psychic and Force. Because I don't want him to use his move, get both of these, and then him use his move, and then him get the benefit of having Sidekick and Force. So I think you're more important to break than this guy that's just swiping down here. But I might just be able to kill you. And then swipe you and you don't get to use your move. Okay, nice. Got some good synergies. I want some free actions because I think this setup will need these two guys to each have free actions that they can use more things. Okay, Aura. Aura traits. Traits affect all allies or enemies at once. You cannot have more than one of the same aura trait. So allies gain plus 10 evasion. Whenever an ally evades a hit, deal a 5 damage wind hit to the attacker. Triggers up to once per enemy per turn. That's decent because that synergizes with Eye of the Storm. For every 35 wind or wild damage dealt to an enemy, apply dodge to the ally with the lowest amount of dodge, which is nice to get dodge on this so that whenever this guy has dodge, his attacks do 1 more damage and steal. So these two synergize well together to just trigger a lot of wind damage. Whenever an ally triggers Psychic, shields both attackers for 3. Whenever Psychic is applied to this monster, generates 1 random ether. I think I'm going to go for Afterstorm. I'm not sure if Afterstorm can crit. Like if it comes off of this guy evading a hit and then it triggers a hit, I don't know if it consumes a stack of force. I really hope it doesn't because I prefer this guy's force stacks to be consumed on his sidekick attacks or on Supersonic Strike. I'm not sure how that actually works. Don't really need to worry about what I'm doing here. Just collecting teeth. Okay, get one of these guys. You're just dead. You just die. Sure. Can I do that again? No, I can't kill. Okay. That's fine though. Wait, how am I gonna do this? I do this, and then I apply, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say I apply tear to you, but I'm breaking you.
Jake told you what time he's coming down.
No, not yet.
They're gonna tell you that before they leave, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Remember the fridge?
nominated. Okay. New action for you. Steals one enemy ether free action. That's really good. Because I could potentially just steal an enemy ether, interrupt their turn, and cause an interrupt and apply 5 tear on them. Which is really, really strong. This is also incredibly strong. Especially if I have a stack of force. Especially, this guy doesn't really get force in this shifted form. 1 times 10 earth damage against target enemy. Consume all earth ether, 4 damage, and 1 poise for each. And then 4 times 4 wind damage against target enemy. Applies 2 dodge to self. That is very nice for damage. Especially because I have the storm for doing wind or wild damage. But I do think stealing dust is going to be a little bit better right now. Apply tear. Heals target ally for 2 times 3. Shields target ally. Free action. This is great. 2 times 5 fire wind damage against all enemies. On interrupt, applies dodge to all allies. That's really strong. Blood drain also sounds really good, but applying dodge to all allies is going to be really nice. Especially if I get the a bit more dodge application and I get haste later on. It's going to be really strong. Haste is the thing that once you have 5 dodge on an ally, it consumes all the stacks of dodge but resets their turn so they get to go again. At the end of your turn, cleanse 1 corruption. I think I'm going to go that because I have a bunch of offensive guys that can't prevent damage from happening. Except for the guy that steals enemy ether. Banner. All allies get +7 crit chance and +7 evasion, +10 evasion as well. That's really strong for this setup. Honestly, if they all had banners, I wouldn't mind that. Especially banner at the highest tier. This is the blue rarity. If it was the highest rarity, it'd be +10 and +10 here. So I could give them all 30% evasion. Okay. Okay, just barely got that. Let's hit this guy. These little flying wormlings are really scary if you let them live for a long time because they... Well, they're shifted. Do they still do that? Yeah. They apply power to themselves, and they apply a lot of power to themselves, but then they use a move where they transfer all their power to one enemy, so they can give this guy a boatload of damage. Kind of see if I could break one of these guys because they have force on them, and I could worry about this guy next turn. But I don't think I will be able to break one of the other guys. I'm still gonna... No, I won't be able to. Okay, I should just break this guy. And then I'll set up one of these guys to be broken next turn. Okay, break you. Just knock both them out, I think. Yeah, and then all my damage going into this guy next turn should kill him. Okay. Please don't give me the same boss. Because if I get that same boss, I think the same thing's going to happen. He's just going to obliterate me on turn 2. Okay, an elemental challenge. Let Jin take on the elemental challenge. He could get 1 experience. He did it. Nice. It's 1 extra experience. Start of combat, apply 1 dodge to all allies. At the start of combat, generates 2 wild ether. At the start of combat, purge 3 enemy ether. That's actually really good. Actually, I don't know if I should have done that, because when my guy purges enemy ether, he applies tear to enemies. So it might have been better to let him do that. But they all basically don't have a move now to start combat. Steal your move, and then I'm just going to try to kill you. So I'm going to hit you, apply force and sidekick to myself. Yeah, and then I should hit this guy and kill him. I'm actually going to kill him with this guy. So I could use this guy's move to apply tear to you. So that next turn I'm going to hit you harder and should be able to kill you. There you go, 39 damage. One times 25 damage against a target enemy, plus 5 damage for every stack of force, deals 5 additional damage if the target has shield. So I like the 1 times whatever on this guy just because his first hit's the hit that does more damage. Applies 2 dodge to target ally, retaliate triggers a 2 times 5 wind earth damage attack. I don't think that's it. Precision meter is also really good because on first critical hit, it does plus 3 poise damage. This is a really good way on breaking poise because if Minokawa has force applied, it will be a guaranteed crit. But I also think Flame Skewer, if I get some force generation, would be really, really strong. Is there really only 2 combats in this zone? Sometimes there's enemies that are like hiding and you need to run by them and they'll jump out at you. But I think there's only 2 combats in that zone. Okay. Let's go to our rare loot drop. See, ideally we don't get the same boss, because that guy's just gonna... Oh, it's the shifted version of him. I haven't seen this. What's up, Moo? We love damage in this household. Would I say this game's worth playing even though it's not fully released? Yes. Runs of this game are very long. Like, runs of this game, it depends how long it takes you to sit and think. I've had runs of this game that are like 2 hours. And there's a bunch of content. There's like 38 monsters or something in it, or like, no, like 28 monsters in it right now. And each of them have so many different ways to play them. critical sidekick tear. Okay, this is going to be easier to fight because the other one had dodge, but this is still going to be brutal. Again, so for every 10 critical or wild damage dealt by allies, applies 1 bleed to target enemy. Bleed will deal wild damage, so it stacks with itself. Crit chance. On every 3 crits, generate wild ether. Tear application +1 at the start of your turn. Deals a wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. If I have 5 or more tear, I'm being hit incredibly hard this early in the game. And allies gain 15% crit chance and +2 crit damage. It also has 316 health. This guy right here, Jin, is going to be my goat for stealing your ether and preventing you from using your moves. Should I heal my guy right now? Let me do an hourglass heal. Just get them closer to full health because he's still going to hit hard. Just dodge. Nice. Dodge. Okay. 21 damage. Applies 4 tear to all enemies. Bro, fuck off. Please. Okay, I interrupted him, so I applied 5 tear to him, which is nice. I want to still steal his ether. I don't want him to have all this. I need to stagger him and then flame skewer him while having a bunch of force, but I can't really generate a lot of force on myself right now. I think I'm going to use this to purge 3 of your ether, so next turn you aren't that set up. Okay, I can't use Shriek and Supersonic Strike because I only have 2 Wind Ether. I think I'm just going to Tempering again to keep dodge on this guy. And then let's hit with another... Yeah, another Shriek to keep your tear stacks up. Double dodge, huge. 2 times 7 against all enemies. 15% crit chance. Criticals deal 4 more damage. Yeah, how about not, buddy? And then let me steal that from you. And then let me capture this guy. So I actually have this version of him. So Flame Skewer is going to hit pretty hard right now, but I don't have any force stacks, which is unfortunate. To get a force stack, I would need to like... I can actually get a force stack for next turn. And then Flame Skewer. Which I think I will do, I just need to take this hit. Because you're still staggered next turn. Okay, now I have Psychic and Force for next turn. Oh my god. Flame Skewer is doing 47 damage. This is killing everyone if I don't kill him this turn. So I could steal. You don't get that. I apply more tear on you. Yeah, you actually don't have the force stack on you. Okay. But we should be good. Thank God. That version is a lot easier because it's not applying dodge to itself, so it's not dodging attacks. New trait. For every 7 ether consumed by allies generates wild ether. It's pretty good to allow you to use whatever moves you want to use. When this monster generates or consumes ether, shields self equal to the amount of ether generated or consumed. That's like very specific on what you're doing. When this monster purges or steals ether, generate 1 additional ether of the same element. This monster takes 1 more damage from all hits. Jin, you are not the dude to do that with your very low health. I'm going to take Ether Cycle. Tailwind. Whenever an ally evades a hit, generate Wind Ether. If you have 5 or more Wind Ether, generate Wild Ether. At the start of combat and on dedicated support action, apply 1 dodge to self and shield each ally for 3. I don't think I'm using dedicated support actions on you. I'm all attacks right now. Whenever you have 5 ether of the same element, heals all allies for 2 times 4. I'm going to reroll this. Yeah, since he's a lone, sidekick is just going to be useless on him. That boss, if he has any sidekick stuff, it's kind of irrelevant. So that version is a lot easier. That version is a lot easier as a boss, but as like an actual monster on your side, it seems insane to have critical tear and sidekick. That's like a really good combination. At the start of your turn, deal a wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. Wait, this is actually insane right here. I'm going to read this first though. Whenever an ally evades a hit, apply sidekick to them? Ooh. Wait. Wait, these are both good. Blind as well. Enemies with tear have a 15% chance to miss each hit. Whenever an enemy misses, apply tear to them. This stacks a lot of tear on enemies. But martial prowess, whenever an ally evades a hit, apply sidekick to them. My dudes all have like dodge almost every turn. These are both really good. I mainly like this for Minokawa because the more buffs Minokawa has, the more damage Minokawa has. From the first hit of each attack, this monster deals +1 damage for every 2 buff stacks it has on it. And this thing just hits like a truck. I just need force generation to have force up more often so that each hit is hitting a critical hit. Both of these are really good. So my thought process here is all of my monsters have dodge. All of them can get martial prowess at some point. Only Alucard, only this bat can pick up blind because it's tear, and it's the only one with tear. So I'm going to try to get this later and pick up blind right now because I actually have decent tear spreading application with Tormentor on interrupt apply 5 tear and shriek. But I really wanted both of those. Both of those are incredibly strong. Moo, are you excited for the new Ravenswatch update? It looks like it's going to be so good. This looks like it's going to be the best update that they've had. On interrupt, apply power to self. Tear hit. 15% chance to apply tear on hit. Wait a minute. The initial sidekick on this is great. Wait, on interrupt though. At the end of turn, applies 1 power. Wait, on interrupt applies power to self? You are interrupting all the time. New items look so refreshing. Maybe we won't always take egg. I know, I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. Rod of Command reactivates target monster. That's incredibly good. Bonus experience. Minokawa level up. On dedicated support action applies 1 force to each ally. Yo! Okay, make it double. Psychic attacks from allies deal, instead of 1 times 4, deals 2 times 2. This is really, really good if you have a bunch of force stacks, or if you have like power as well. Power increases the damage of your attacks. So normally like psychic will go 1 times 4 to 1 times 5, but then it would be 2 times 2 to 2 times 3. It's normally really good to pick up. It's not good on Minokawa because only the first hit of Minokawa is affected by its like increased damage. But into the fray on dedicated support action applies 1 force to each ally. That's increasing the damage of everyone, but also helping me have extra force for these sidekick attacks when I use tempering. That's really good. I could pick up this Hexing Harp, purge 2 enemy ether, but I think my Jin guy is doing a good enough job interrupting enemies. Let's go to the Envoy. Pick an artifact, Hexing Harp, okay. Chromatic Scroll is really good. Just allows you to break enemy poise. Excuse me? Okay. Okay, so we want to start with this, because I'm now going to apply force to everyone. We're going to you don't have dodge on you, so I'm actually going to steal from you. Wait, I just need to get one more earth, which I can't, because I just want to try to break you. I might be able to outright kill you. Or no, just purge. Miss? Yeah, you can see whenever they miss, they're going to get more tear applied to them from blind. This is such a good trait. Good flame skewer for big damage. On interrupts applies dodge to all allies. That's going to be huge. You have 4 stacks of dodge. What hit do I not want to take the most? Probably this one. Just dodge the attacks. Nice. Okay. I like this setup. I really like this setup. New action. Heals target, generates 1 random ether. 2 times 3 fire damage against all enemies. Purge 1 enemy ether. I like that quite a bit because on interrupt I apply power to self. If I can interrupt 3 different enemies with that and stagger them all, that's going to be really good. Yeah, let's take Lava Type. Okay, let's go do our other combats in here. I generally like attacking the bat first and breaking the poise on the bat because the bat can apply tear. And again, when you have tear applied to you, you're going to take more damage, meaning you're going to take more corruption. And it's attacking all my guys right now, so let's not let that happen. The only issue is I can't stagger the bat unless I use a chromatic scroll. Never mind, I can. I can, well, not stagger, but I can interrupt its move. Wait, I can stagger it. If I solar wind, I'm going to interrupt because I'm killing this guy and apply dodge to all allies. But you're using flame skewer, which is a bunch of damage. But I could lava tide. Can I use both solar wind and lava tide? That's going to generate one wind ether. That costs one fire. Yes, I can. Let's set up for next turn. See, like right here, this game does get a little, like, I'm not keeping track of everything that's happening. I have the ideas of what's happening, of like, hey, this guy has buffs on him, he's going to attack when they attack. But I don't have like the damage calculation done in my head, but every once in a while I like to stop and be like, okay, this says 75 damage. Why does it say that? And figure out what's going on. 1 times 4 water damage against the target enemy. If this action kills an enemy, heals self for 10 and increases this action's damage by 3 for the rest of the run. I've never seen this. I've never seen this. Increases his damage by 3, so it's still going to be a 1 times move. That's interesting. Do I want that? I can use tempering, which is a dedicated support action, so it will give 1 force to each ally, which will allow this to crit. Let's try it. Actually, I don't want to try it because it's going to make me slow play and try to get every kill with Vampiric Bite. Meaning I'm going to be like potentially taking damage just to get Vampiric Bite off. Because I don't think I'm going to stack it high enough. This is really interesting though. I do want to play with this at some point. Applies 2 dodge to self. Wind Ether is pretty valuable though. I kind of want to re-roll. Here, applies 3 tear to all enemies. I really like that. The book gets really scary if you let the book sit around for a long time. The book gets like a free move that does a bunch of damage. This is going to apply power to itself twice, but I'm not going to be able to stagger that. That's so unfortunate. I can't use Stealing Dust and Lava Tide. I would love to use both these. Oh, wait. You have dodge on you, so I still can purge. So I can attack you. Hit you for a bunch of damage. And then basic attack you. Wait. I thought if you had dodge on you... Applies dodge. Each attack consumes a dodge and steal 1 ether. Oh, it is stealing 1 ether, it's just not enough. Okay. I get it. I see why now. So I should have actually attacked this guy down here. Would have made more sense. I mainly just need to kill the bat this turn. Do this, apply power to yourself. Do this, big hit here. And then I'm gonna let Jin kill, and it's gonna kill, interrupt, interrupt. He's gonna apply 3 power to himself, right? Yeah, so now he's at 5 power. That's crazy. That's actually a crazy turn. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, the all-out offense is working so far right now. Applies 2 force to self-free action. That's huge. Banner. I like the initial sidekick. I do think having a bunch of banners is really cool for a bunch of evasion. And I'm kind of letting Jin do the interrupting more than I am letting, you know, Kawa doing the interrupting. Because this is guaranteed power because it's a epic, where this is a 75% chance. It's mainly the initial sidekick that I really like here, but I actually am going to replace that. I think having all this dodge chance is going to be really nice into harder fights. Okay, go to Ether Spring here. Ether Spring is actually really good in the second area because it lets you generate 1 additional ether of a type. Water, wind. I think wind's more important. Wind, wind, wind. Wind, wind. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I see this guy, I think this guy's worth attacking first. This guy does stupid amounts of damage because his thing reads, Aura, the first ally and first enemy that use an action each turn get 2 tear and 2 burn applied to them. This monster gets +1 damage and +6 evasion for every 10 debuff stacks among all monsters in this combat. If you are using debuff stacks, if you're playing with like poison or burn, you are just buffing this guy, making this guy harder to hit and making him hit harder. And then whenever an ally reaches 4 debuff stacks, applies power and shield to them. So this guy's very much worth obliterating right away. Except for the fact that you're using a 2x8, 25% crit chance burn on all enemies move. Lava Tide would just interrupt both of them. I might Lava Tide. Yeah, just interrupt them. Are you attacking top, bottom, bottom? Okay. Yeah, I like the interrupt here. I want to get you closer to stagger, so I'm going to use a water attack on you. Double miss. Huge. A lot of misses. That's 2 interrupts, and then I think I should be able to kill this guy. I can use Hailstorm, apply Terror on them, stagger this guy, so I don't have to worry about his move, and then, like, look at this guy funny and kill him. Miss. Huge. Dude, the evasion is going insane right now. Kill you, stagger you. Supply force. Supply force and psychic, just for overkill. Dude, this run's going really, really well right now. Whenever this monster generates or consumes ether, shields self equal to the amount of generated or consumed. Whenever wild ether is spent on an ally's action, its second hit does wild damage. If it's a support action, it applies 1 tear. I'm gonna reroll these. Purge. On interrupt, deals a 6 fire wind damage hit to that enemy. You are my dude that's meant to interrupt, which is interesting. On action, if it was this monster's second action in the same turn, generates wild ether. That's good with like free turns. I could do this and then something and it'll generate wild ether. But I've been looking for this. Whenever an ally evades a hit, applies Sidekick to them, triggers once per ally per turn. But this is every turn. I'm getting Sidekick on every single character, or every single guy, and I'm hitting pretty hard on most of them. I think that's a really, really good pickup. On attack, heals the ally with the lowest health 2 times 3. For every 50 healing, your allies generate 1 wild ether. I'm not really using wild ether a lot. I'm going to reroll these. At the start of your turn, generate wild ether for every 5 or more tear on an enemy. Tear application plus 1. Okay. Wild damage hits of this monster gain plus 1 poise damage. Okay, at the start of combat and on dedicated support action, apply 1 dodge to self and shield all allies for 3. I'm not really using dedicated support actions on you at all. I think this, just tear application plus 1, is really nice and start of your turn, generate wild ether for every enemy with 5 or more tear. That is very, very easy right now for them to have 5 or more tear. I think it's been consistent. Let me go other directions first. Okay, my middle guy's getting hit and has no dodge on him, so let's apply 3 dodge. Miss. They now have sidekick. They both have sidekick. Dude, this is so good. Let's do this. Get tear on each enemy. Steal your ether. Free action, apply 2 force to you. Yeah, I can take the hit from this guy. You're gonna dodge, right? Yeah, you're gonna dodge the second hit. Okay. And then obliterate you with 107 damage. Ooh, Aethermancer. Yeah, I've been liking this game a lot recently. Been really liking this game. Okay, release a monster soul. Card gets 1 experience, okay. Okay, there's boss. I'd love to get up here so I could break 1 more poise, but we'll just attack 2 of these guys. Can be very dangerous. I get a steal from you, and I can't swipe you, but I will be able to in a second. Oh, no I won't. What am I talking about? I have to generate Earth Ether. We purge that. Let me just fully set up this turn. Give me more force, then give me sidekick, force, and dodge. Oh, you have to take the full hit because I... Oh no, you're not being attacked. The bat in the middle isn't being attacked. Nice. Just dodge everything, apply tear to everyone, generate a bunch of wild ether because they all have tear on them. Can I solar wind into lava tide to interrupt them? Yes, I can. No, I can't. Wait, yes, I can. Okay, I generated 1 more wild ether. Okay, this guy's just trying to live. He's just trying to live for the next turn. So let's apply more force and we'll just kill this guy. Okay, congratulations, buddy. You lived to this turn. Give me your ether. And get obliterated. Don't want that. On dedicated support action, heal. So on dedicated support action, which is nice, this will give me 2 more force when I use tempering, which I have been using tempering a lot. I actually haven't been attacking, but what I like about the 2 force that I get when I apply this to myself is I get 1 from Into the Fray, 2 from Reinforce, 1 from tempering, and it actually makes Flame Skewer a good move because it does 5 additional damage for every stack of force. And then there's just 1 more force ability that I'm looking for that makes it so force is only consumed on the first attack, but it gives bonus crit. So let's go Reinforce. Chain. No. Okay, release a monster soul. I really can't die, because if I die, I only have 1 monster soul. Okay, do I want to go to the Witch? Do I want to reroll anything? Martial Prowess has been really good. This has actually been generating a lot of ether for me. Tormentor's great. I think all my stuff, Cosmic Horror, yeah, this has been good. I think everything that I have, I really, really like. Do I want to... I like Flame Skewer. I like all those. I could get rid of, like, Supersonic Strike, but that's still decent. I like Hailstorm, Solar Wind, Shriek has been decent. Yeah, I've been using everything. I don't want to go to the Witch. Let's go to a epic loot drop. See if we can get a banner. Nope, we just got coins. Okay. Alright, second boss has an interesting mechanic that you mainly lose to this boss when you play into the boss's mechanic. This is its mechanic. Tides of Void. Every turn it's going to choose an element. Chose Earth. Whenever an ally or an enemy uses Earth action, Star Spawn generates Wild Ether. Then it also has on every 3 attacks, apply powers to self. Power is 1 more damage of a hit. So if it's a 2 times 8, it goes to 2 times 9. Ancient Power gains aging. For every 3 age, 1 age will apply each turn. For every 3 age, applies 1 power to self. Outlast gains aging whenever age is applied to this monster. Heals and shields for 3. So basically, if you let it live for a long time, it's going to generate a lot of power and do a lot of damage to you. It has plus 4 damage as well. But this costs 5 Wild Ether. 2 times 14 damage against all enemies, applies power to its allies. It gets to use 2 turns each turn. You don't want it to use Starbeam a lot, because if it's adding a lot of power to itself, it's just going to hurt. The other one that you don't want it to use is Icy Assault, because this is a 5 times 7, so every power it gets, it does 5 more damage. This will go to 5 times 8, 5 times 9, 5 times 10. So you want to prevent these two from happening. I am going to purge your ether. Apply tear on you. I don't want to use earth actions right now. I also want to break your poise, so I'm going to use a... I'm actually not going to use a chromatic scroll right now. Use tempering, because this is going to apply a lot of force to me and force to my other allies. Actually, am going to use this chromatic scroll. Break some poise on you, and then hit you with a shriek. Dodge. Okay, I need you to dodge and start applying a lot of tear on this guy. So he's going to choose a new element, which is wind, which kind of sucks because all my shit is wind. But you can see Flame Skewer is already doing a bunch of damage. I could stagger with Lava Tide. You still are hitting for 5 times 7 damage. Which I think I do need to potentially use Protective Wish. I think I'm gonna Aqua Pounce and then Flame Skewer. Now Flame Skewer is hitting for 98 damage. And the great thing about Flame Skewer hitting for 98 damage is for Eye of the Storm, it's hitting as wild damage because it had tear on it, so it's applying a lot of dodge to my allies. So it's back to Earth. I don't think I have enough Purge to prevent you from doing this. I can't live this Icy Assault, so I actually can't live this. So I need to kill this turn, but I don't think I can. I'm gonna use a free action and apply force to myself. I might be able to kill, but I think I have to use Rod of Command, and I gotta figure out how to do this correctly. Because I'm about to lose this guy. I'm not interrupting you with anything. Could use tempering. Then I erotic man and reactivate this guy. Use generate force again. That's crazy how much Flame Skewer would do. You actually might live because of all the dodge that you have on you, right? Because you might dodge every single attack after this. I kind of need you to dodge every attack. If you dodge every attack, I think I'm fine. Okay, let's do this. Can I interrupt this move? Because I'll kill you next turn, right? No, it's not stealing the right ones. If it stole 2 Earth here, then I would be able to do this. No, I wouldn't because it has Wild Ether. Okay, just please live. Please live. Just dodge. Just dodge. You dodge these. Nice. You dodge these. Oh my god, he only got hit once. I didn't have to worry at all. Oh my god. Get fucking obliterated. Oh my god, there's so much worry, but it just dodged everything. That's huge. Uh, 1 times 10 wind damage against target enemy consumes wind ether. On interrupt applies dodge to all allies. That could be good. I already have that move on the bat. So I think I'm actually going to skip it and just get more max health on this guy. So this is better single target damage. Applies 5 tear for free. Well, it's like as a free action, which is really interesting. I can get rid of Shriek. But Shriek is nice because it doesn't cost 4 ether. I might not need Aqua Pounce as much. Applies 5 tear. It's going to allow me to hit really hard. I think I am going to get rid of Aqua Pounce for that. Okay. Let's go to third area. We have third area and then boss. Or third area and then final boss fight. +1 hit. Earth generation, evasion, health. Generate wild ether. Deals 2 times 2 damage and steals 1 ether. That's really good for interrupting moves. This is really good for being able to use moves if you don't have the ether. Let's just buy experience because at level 8 I get another trait, which I really want to see if I can get haste. Applies 3 force to target ally, then shields for 2 for each force. That's decent for myself, but it's not a free action. I think I'm just going to be taking... Ooh, sidekick reaction. I think I prefer the force. Just get the max health. Okay, this third area. Ooh. Ether Spring or Envoy. I might go... I have a lot of items. I'm gonna go Ether Spring. These will be like, in the third area, you do more damage with a certain element. Or you get like healing or something. There's a few things that could be in this third area. At the start of your turn, heals all monsters by 4. Your monsters gain +5 evasion and +5 crit. Huge. Some of the monsters in this area are kind of busted, but there's a gimmick through a lot of these fights. Like a gimmick monster. This one doesn't have the gimmick monster. This one is just a aggressive poison setup that I'm fighting right now. This is a lot of damage. Turn 1, okay. Let's steal. Let's apply force. And let's steal. I'm gonna apply tear on you and then stagger you. Can I dodge everything? Nice, good dodges, good dodges. Okay, let me steal from you, interrupt you, apply more tear on you, so I could hit you with a... Lava Tide. Then this enemy right here, they're not attacking me, they're just shielding, so I just have to kill this dude in the back. But I could kill him and interrupt. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, final trait. Whenever an ally evades a hit, generate wind ether. Wind ether. I don't really need that. And every 4 attacks from allies purge 1 enemy ether. That is nice for keeping things purged, but I'm going to reroll. On interrupt, I think I'm just going to do this. This is also pretty good. At the start of your turn, generate wild ether. At the end of your turn, consume wild ether to deal a 3 damage hit to this monster. So if you don't consume the wild ether, you're going to be hit. This is really good for turn 1, for being able to use free actions on turn 1. Like being able to use Stealing Dust and other things. And Bloom Doom, and generate force. Shock is really good because this guy's stacking a bunch of damage, but I think I'm going to go Void Burn. Just so my turn 1, I could be more aggressive. Not that I'm not super aggressive turn 1, but so I could be more aggressive. So this is the gimmick with this third area, is there's this guy, which his thing is, at the start of your turn, apply Psychic to this monster and 1 essence to its attached minions. This monster cannot learn any attacks. So this thing can only attack through Sidekick, and it like can summon minions, but it can't attack. So if you kill the other 2 things, it can't do anything. 4 times 9, that's a lot of damage. Let's steal, and then let me apply force. Let me use tempering. Apply tear on this guy in the back. I have 2 dodge. I might be able to dodge both those attacks. I also have shield on this guy down here, so that might be good. Let's see. Yeah, dodge the second one, so that's fine. Apply more tear on you. Apply more tear on you. And then stagger you with Lava Tide. I'm just gonna do 88 damage to this guy. Because this guy's staggered. The Scorpion is staggered and he can't attack me. So, we should be good here. Next turn, Lava Tide should just kill. Or close to kill. And basic attack. Okay. At the start of your turn, deals a 9 or deals wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. I think I could pick that up because that is 1 more tear application, which is nice, but it also does a wild damage hit, meaning it'll break poise a bit easier. The only thing is it might break poise, and I want this guy to break poise. And you know what? There actually is a trait. I want a force trait on this guy, and then I want a different trait on you. Haste. Here we go. Let me read the other ones first, though. For every 15 damage... Wait. For every 15 damage the first hit of an attack does, it gains +1 poise damage. Interesting. For every 50 healing of your allies, generate 1 wild ether. But this is the big one. Aura. Dodge now only increases evasion by 12% per stack and doesn't get consumed when attacked. After an ally's turn, they consume 5 stacks of dodge to reactivate their turn. So, if I am doing a metric shit ton of wind or wild damage and I am applying dodge to the ally with the lowest amount of dodge and that hits them over 5 dodge, they'll reactivate their turn and get to go again. And currently I have moves, if they have tear on them, the first hit is doing wild damage. I have moves that hit AoE that are doing either wild or wind damage, so I'm applying a lot of dodge. I think this is going to be insane. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the build. If you aren't applying enough dodge, it kind of ruins the build. You may choose to release 2 souls in order to fully cleanse all the corruption. No, I don't need to do that. I also can't do that. Let's actually hit this guy first. This guy has a pretty annoying signature trait for enemies that hit only 1 time. While this monster has 1 or more force, it evades the first hit of an enemy attack and retaliates. My Minokawa only hits, for the most part, once. What it only does. So if this guy has force, I just can't hit him. Interrupt that. I'm okay with this applying 2 poison to all monsters. I want to interrupt you. On interrupt applies dodge to all allies. Yeah, let's do that. And then tempering for next turn. Lava Tide almost kills. That's crazy. Supply more force. Can I use both Hailstorm and Lava Tide? Yes. Okay. So they're all at 4. Technically, this would restart my turn, right? No, because it's not going to be... Oh, wait, would it? No, it gets to 32 damage, so it's not going to restart my turn. If this got to 35 total, then it would have reset one of these guys' turn. Okay, there's one trait that I really want on Minokawa. When this monster has force, it gains 2 defense and 1 less corruption. It wasn't any of these. I'm tempted to not reroll it. It's one that basically makes it so your force stacks only apply to the first hit, but you do more damage. Like you get bonus crit damage. I think Joust is really, really good though. Applies 1 force and 1 sidekick to self on dedicated support action. Whenever a buff is applied to this monster, 20% chance to apply the same buff, cannot trigger with self. This is actually insane because I apply 2 force, and then if I click tempering, there's a 20% chance that force is applied again. Then there's a 20% chance 3 times on tempering, but then there's a 20% chance for 1 force and 1 sidekick, 20% chance on 2 force, 20% chance on 1 force. I think I'd take that over the banner. I know it hurts the evasion on my allies, but that's like... This dude benefits from having more buffs. It does more damage for every buff it has. If I have a 20% chance on all of those things to get more buffs, that's kind of insane. I don't need to reroll anything. I guess I'll go to the cook. I kind of forget what the cook does. I don't go to the cook that often. Okay. Grant a new perk. These are these down here. Initial dodge, damage, evasion, initial force, initial dodge. Let's get Minokawa a new perk. +1 hit. That might be bad because it's going to consume another force attack. Or force stack, but it's going to hit so hard. I know it's just a 2 damage hit, but it's going to hit so hard for how many buffs that thing has on it. After this fight, I probably need to go pee real quick. Okay, who's attacking? You're attacking, okay. Yeah, look how many buffs I just added. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's so many stacks. Dodge, nice. think I flame skewer you for 1,000,000. Nice. You have 6 dodge, so next turn, yeah, you'll be reactivated. But it doesn't really matter when this guy has no health. Okay. Now, level ups, like, they do still matter. You get more choices and stuff. But you mainly just take the max health unless there's something you really need. Applies dodge to target ally. Applies 3 psychic to self. Applies dodge to all allies. 3 psychic to self, dodge to all allies. Do I want that? Not really. I can get rid of 3 wishes, but I do like the purge that has. I think I'm gonna take the max health. Banner rare, force chance. No. Okay, I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's finish this round. Stuff up north. 2 Jins. Okay, a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Why don't we not do that? So I could lava tide to interrupt you. Which I think I do need to lava tide. Or I can just steal. Let me steal. Let me actually tempering first. Nice, I got 2 things of sidekick. Wait, no, I'm guaranteed 2 things of sidekick because of joust, right? Yeah. Okay. Now I want to just generate dodge on my allies by doing a bunch of damage. So I think I'm going to do this. Nice, I got dodge on everyone. Okay, it looks like a lot of damage is coming in, but I think I should be able to stop all of it. I guess I have a lot of ether. Generate more force. Obliterate you. And then I just need to hit you once. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. And you reset yourself. Nice. Yeah, man, I'm really a fan of this setup. These guys are working really well together. Applies 2 dodge to target ally. Retaliate applies 6 tear to the enemy. Applies 5 tear to all enemies. It attacks one enemy, but applies 5 tear to all enemies. I want that more than solar wind. Because I'm thinking about the final boss and what I'll need. And having 3 hit moves are better than 2 hit moves. But having AoE is also good. I don't have good earth hits. I don't think I need it. Do I want it over Hailstorm? No, I kind of need Hailstorm. Okay. An epic banner. Dude, having 2 banners would be so nice. It's just so much evasion. But I really love the on interrupt. This grants power to self because I interrupt so much. My cat just opened my door. Come here, buddy. Come here. Okay, never mind. It's so much power with the belt. But how much is power necessary in the final boss fight on this guy? Like, how much is power really necessary? It's going to increase this to like 2 times 5, 2 times 6, 2 times 7. It is really nice on Lava Tide for the final boss when he spawns in creatures. This Talesman is so good though, it's so good. Let me see something. I also kind of regret this +1 hit a little bit. Tear hit on chance. This does have 20% chance to get power on an action. Am I going to give up the belt? I'm going to give up the belt. Which seems insane. And it might be the wrong choice. But the final boss stacks a bunch of damage on you. Like a bunch of tear on you. Can I break that? And if you get hit, you're going to take a bunch of damage. So if you just have more evasion and can avoid any hit, I feel like that might just be the way. Applies 1 force and 2 dodge to target ally. Retaliate, deal 1 times 10 fire wind damage. Lightning bolt trap. No. Okay. Final boss of this area. Let's go here. Sometimes he buffs your equipment. So if he can buff my equipment with like a +10 evasion. No, he's doing a pick an equipment. Okay. On support action, heals the ally with the lowest health for 7. I don't think this is it. Whenever this monster applies a debuff to an enemy, I'm not really debuffing. Okay, this boss, similar to the other ones, it's all about scaling. If you let this boss scale, it gets kind of tough. So, you can see it has plus 6 damage, plus 1 damage, plus 3 debuff cleanse, 10 health, initial weakness. Weakness reduces the damage against enemies by 2. And then it has plus 2 to that weakness reduction. And then it has gain aging. At the end of your turn, if this monster has 3 or more age, triggers an attack against each enemy that does 1 times 4 fire wind damage for every 3 age stacks and applies 1 weakness to the enemy. Then summon, it can have 2 minions that it summons, and the minions do more damage. Gains aging for every 2 age, generates wild ether. For every 4 age on an ally, cleanse 4 debuffs from them and applies age to them. It's not the scariest boss, but the longer the fight goes on, it can be tough. Jesus, I just got 11 force. Apply more tear on you. And then I think just steal. So I'm constantly stealing ether. I don't want you to have any ether. And then we actually get to stagger you turn 1. Is there anything else I want to do? I could use tempering again. This might be a little bit of a waste. But I like the idea of you having a bunch of force stacks on yourself. Miss. Steal that. Let's add more tear to you. Let's steal that so you're not using your other move. Yeah, just prevent you from using moves still. And then with Minokawa, let's actually attack. But prior to that, let's... I don't really need to use any of these. Let me just hit this whip and steal more ether from you. And then let's apply... No, let's use the dedicated support so that I apply more sidekick to myself. That's 17 force. Wait, did it get rid of my dodge? Why do I have no dodge? Oh, because it reactivated my turn. Gotcha, gotcha. Let's make it even crazier. 22 force. Again, this guy does more damage for the more buffs that it has on it. And if I can flame skewer next turn with 20 force, yeah, you can see it has 608 and it goes down to 269. That's going to be a lot of damage. And you're just getting more and more tear. Okay. $202 damage. What's up, Franco? I'm not going to use that this turn. I'm actually going to steal from this guy. Let's purge 3. Because I'm not killing him this turn. I could try to kill him next turn. Oh my god, but I hasted, so I reset my turn. Dude, I'm so close to just cooking this guy. Can I do that? Because I actually might be able to cook you. No, because it consumed the force there. So you shouldn't die. Yeah, you're barely going to live. Wait, will this reset my turn? Will it reset you? Or not, because it's the end. It does reset you. So I do kill. 294 damage. Let's go. Pizza Man. Yes, I would say this game is worth playing. It very much, even though it's not fully released, it feels like a full game. There is, I think, 29 monsters in the game currently. That each have shifted variants. So it's like there's 2 variants of each monster. So there's close to like 60 monsters. Is it good without a final boss? It still also does feel like it has a final boss. This was the boss of the 3rd area. You'll see the final boss that I'm about to go into. Like, the final boss feels like a final boss, for sure. It's a pretty tough final boss, especially if you are playing on Mythic difficulty. It has a pretty stupid amount of health, and its moves and traits are all kind of tough to play around. Oh my god, another banner. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to pick up that banner because I think the talisman of whenever you apply a buff, 20% chance to apply another buff is just too good. And I think the evasion, the 10% evasion on this one is too good. It's better than this banner. Wait, this one has debuff cleanse. What is my +2 crit damage? That +2 crit damage is good, but this debuff cleanse, it's only 1 debuff cleanse. Hit the bat, hit the bat, hit the bat, hit the bat, hit the bat. Fuck. Is it still hard even after playing for a while? Yes, I lose a fair amount of these still. Hey, Box of Wonder, Happy New Year. I would say this game is, there is plenty of runs that are incredibly challenging. There are plenty of runs where I feel like through the 3rd area I am dominating and I get stomped by the boss. Or by the 3rd area boss. Like, this happens to be, like, if you were here for the first run, you saw I got killed by the chapter 1 boss. This run happens to be a really, really good run. Pretty much every single trait, I got a thing that I wanted that synergizes really, really well with what's going on. But I've had a lot of very challenging runs. Did this bird get... This bird did get added somewhat recently, but you need to do... I believe it's the knight in the... like hub town. You need to talk to him. You need to unlock a certain amount of monsters, and it's like... I'll show you after this. It says like specialty monsters, and you find the bird in the 3rd zone. But yes. Okay, so final boss. This guy. I'll show you what he does first, and then I'll read his stuff. So he grabs 1, he grabs 2, 6 earth poise, 6 fire poise. Basically, when I use moves, as you see I have corrupted 15, he starts consuming these guys, and in 2 turns, like once I stagger these, 2 turns after I stagger these, he's going to create one of them for himself based off the amount of turns that I had to use to stagger these. So you want to try to stagger them in 1 turn if possible, or 2 turns, because the more turns you have to use to stagger his hands, the more health these are going to have when he spawns them on his side. If that makes sense. He also has +7 damage, +4 healing, +4 shielding, tear application +1, plus 3 ether. He has Eldritch Horde. Gains aging. For every 3 age, applies tear stacks to the enemy with the lowest amount of tear equal to the total amount of age on all allies. Plus 1 tear application. At the start of your turn, deals a wild damage hit with 9 damage to all enemies with 5 or more tear. Whenever you reach 5 ether of the same element, applies age and shields all allies with age for 7. You really don't want him to get to 5 ether of the same element. He eventually will, but because then he's going to proc Eldritch Horror, which will apply a lot of tear. Peak Calamity. Whenever an ally attacks an enemy with 5 or more tear, applies power to that ally. Then whenever an ally attacks an enemy with 3 or more tear, applies dodge to that ally. So he's pretty tough, and he starts off with a 33 damaging attack that applies tear to all enemies. So let's see what I can do. I can steal so that you're not using your move. Lava Tide's nice because it's going to break 2 on each of the hands. Flame Skewer is nice because it'll break 3 here, and then I could Chromatic Scroll. So I am going to Chromatic Scroll this hand. And I think I'm going to Flame Skewer this hand. Just stagger that right away. I'm gonna apply Corruption to him. I'm going to swipe this hand to get rid of some poise on it. And then just hit him with this. So I gotta raise my evasion a lot. So he's applying 5 tear, and then he's also doing a 1 times 15 earth hit, earth water hit, 3 damage for every, and 1 poise for every age that he has. So let's deal this. This hand also changed to water now, which is tough because I don't have a great way of breaking it. But I can Chromatic Scroll it again, and then use Hailstorm to break it. But I'm going to apply more tear on you. I'm going to go Tempering to just start building force. Do this. It's AoE. And let's purge this attack. Okay, I want to stack a whole bunch of force and flame skewer this guy and try to obliterate him. So you see, he spawns each of my guys. The bat has a lot more health because oh, I forgot about that. It spawns them with what they currently have. So the bat has dodge. This guy has a lot of force. That's terrifying. Let's steal from you. You're doing a big hit as well, 2 times 9 against all enemies. Can I Hailstorm into Lava Tide? I think I can. But can I Doom Bloom into Hailstorm into Lava Tide? Doom Bloom is going to consume that. That's going to consume that. I should be able to. calculated wrong. I needed 2 earth. If I do enough damage, I'll reset one of their turn. This should reset my turn, right? Yes. Don't miss. Thank God. Dodge. Huge. Okay. Bunch of tear on you. Okay. It's earth now, that sucks. And you are grabbing a guy again. Okay. I'm on the final boss of this right now. Yeah. I could not tell you. No longer than 15 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, no
Oh,
longer.
cool. I built the entire cabinet. I just need to pop in the doors on.
Oh, nice job.
That was the easiest build. The instructions are so clear.
That's awesome.
And it's good quality for the price of it. Like, save your good for you just gotta open the door. Are you playing it every game?
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Not Slay the Spire, no.
Come here. Super.
Oh, it missed its second hit. Okay, it's huge.
Oh,
What?
it's not like that intense game.
It's not intense as in, like, you know, you're not reacting to things. It's intense in, like, the way Pokemon can be intense.
Goes brain power.
Brain power, yes. Your brain power. Okay. I want to prevent this move. I don't want to... I want to prevent the move that's doing 4 times 12 damage. Which I can. This should reactivate my turn, right? I missed because you have dodge. Okay. I need to break this hand, but it's water currently. And I also really need to stagger this guy. I could do this right now because I'm gonna use it. Get 2 stagger on that at least. It hasted, it reset your turn, which is actually huge. Because I could do it again. Wait, that's huge. That's huge. And then I could stagger you, but I don't want to stagger you this turn. I don't think you reset. I want to tempering, so I get all these buffs again. And just dodge this attack. Alucard, dude in the middle, just dodge. Nice. Okay. You don't reset your poise, do you? Please tell me you don't reset your poise. You don't reset your poise. Okay, huge. So Lava Tide's gonna do a bunch. It's gonna do a bunch for me. I could stagger him with the whip, but I don't want to do that actually because you get power. No, I actually took that off you. You have a banner. So I can't stagger you with the whip. Okay, stagger him with the whip. Generate more force. Lava Tide. Break that hand. That's doing 135 damage. I staggered you this turn, so I think you're still staggered next turn. I think. I'm pretty sure you're still staggered next turn. Because I wanted tempering and then hit you. Unfortunately, I can't break this hand right now, and this hand is going to shriek. Okay, tempering. Get a metric butt ton of force. Oh, it resets your turn. So I can't just hit you for 204 damage this turn. I can't use generate force before that though. Okay. What I can do is... No, I can't do that. I can do this. Apply more tear. Oh, but I have the double hit. I should have done that. Okay. Do 177 damage. I applied so much dodge to the bat. Holy shit. Miss, 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 miss. Miss. This bat has so much dodge on it though. I think I just need to go for kill. Let's interrupt that. I need to make sure I have 3 wild ether to use. No, I need to make sure I have 4. Because I think I could go generate force flame skewer and toast this guy? Next turn? Oh wait, this hand is using Lava Tide. Oh shit. So I need to do this, but it's going to reset my turn because I have 8 dodge. Right? You're going to reset my turn. Then I could do it again. Stagger the hand. F it, I'll do this. Let's actually Rod of Command. Oh, okay, I should have clicked Tempering, then Rod of Command, activated this guy again, and then tried to Flame Skewer. It's okay. Flame Skewer, and I think next turn I beat you. Oh, it reset your turn. Just do this. Okay, I think next turn I kill you. Dude, the evasion on this run was so good. The evasion was incredible on this run. I dodged like 80% of attacks. Oh wait, can I kill you? Ooh, can I kill you? Flame Skewer is doing not enough right now. This is such a funny turn. I didn't know that. Every monster can only get 1 extra turn per round. I didn't know that. I've never had that happen where I've tried to rod of command a person that was already hasted. Because I was going to do it one more time, then click Flame Skewer. As you can see, it leaves him with 6 health. Oh no. Oh no. Am I going to lose because of that? Bro, no shot. Am I going to lose because of that? I didn't know that. I did not know that. I would have never done that. Please kill. Please kill. Oh my god, it kills. Let's go. How does it kill? Okay, it kills. Huge. Huge. Dude, I thought I just threw that away. Okay. Good run. That's a set for all 3 of these guys. Complete as well. I love this as well. This was a thing they added somewhat recently that shows you all of the stats on what everything did, which I think is really cool. So you can see damage dealt. Minokawa did insane amount of damage, 3,000 damage. The other 2 did good stuff. The bat did a lot of support damage. I think support comes through like applying tear and like the bonus damage that tear does, I think. Damage healed, damage prevented, actions prevented. That's a big one. Actions prevented is really, really strong, and then ether generated. But yeah, there we go. Really good run. That run was kind of amazing. Also, here's where you need to go to get the bird. Garden District Hidden Monsters. You need to be able to unlock this. And that's how you get the bird. But yeah, good stuff. Very, I mean, again, I'm enjoying this game a lot. I've actually done a recording of a Terror build that I will be posting to the channel in a couple days. But that's a good amount of these guys complete. But yeah, there's a lot of monsters, and they all have a shifted variant, and they're adding more to the game. I also got this. I have to say the color schemes on their shifted monsters as well are also really, really good. They're really, really good. I'm excited to use this. Yeah, this looks insane. Critical sidekick and tear. But yeah. Well, that is going to be it for me. You can get the first bird. Yes, I started the game where it was like this guy right here. This guy and then like the fire dog were the only 2 starter options. You can get the bird, this guy, the fire guy, or like a little fairy thing that applies poison. I would definitely say go with this guy right here or the bird. Those 2 seem like the strongest of the starters. The fire dude's pretty decent. The poison one's good, but it just requires, I think, a lot more knowledge of the game to be able to play it well. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by an Aethermancer stream. I appreciate that. I've been enjoying this game, and I'm going to maybe post a little bit more to the channel. No, I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys all have a good new year. I got a couple of friends coming down to our place, so got to go get ready for them. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Happy New Year. Peace out.